KLE 500 2026 model. Well, except that unlike a certain Canadian YouTuber, I don't have a foot-long PP, so mine is actually a 451. Today we're going to talk about the vibrations in the foot pegs. A few people have mentioned this in online reviews. First thing to say is it is a parallel twin. It does vibrate a bit, but Kawasaki did fit some rubber isolators to the foot pegs, which really should help with that. But it seems like they did a bit of a mistake with this one. So here we can see an original, not touched rubber mounted foot peg. And what they've done is used a rubber isolator, but they've put a metal washer over it. The metal washer should be some kind of safety catch, I guess, in case of, if the rubber fails, it should stop it all coming apart, I guess. I'm not an engineer. But what happens is it can barely move. It's hard to even see it on camera that it is moving. I am moving the whole bike with my hand here, and there's really nothing going on at the rubber isolators. So what's inside of there? Inside of there we have a rubber bushing, one on each side, and we have our bolts with 19mm washers. Now those 19mm washers fit in that hole reasonably tightly, maybe just a little bit too tightly, but we'll come back to that. And then you have a larger rubber washer, goes on the back, stops the whole assembly sitting against the frame, allows it to move against the frame, and then a thicker rubber washer goes in here, and it fits quite tight. You have to push it in, you have to press it out. Now when that metal washer goes on, it seems that if it sits just slightly off center against the bolt, and then when it's tightened down, it will pin the footrest against the frame, which is what we see on that example over there. The rubber isolators are effectively negated because it can't move. Even I'm putting really as much effort as I can, hardly moves. So what we're going to do is try a little alternative, which is to take a smaller M8 washer. These are the standard ones. These are about 19mm. These are about 16mm. And the idea is that we put this one on, and then we put this one on, and so we still have this one to catch against the edge of the bushing in case anything fails, in case you wreck and it busts the rubber, or after 10 years in the sun it busts the rubber. But it's not going to touch around the edge. It's going to allow it to move as it should and absorb the vibration as Kawasaki really intended. So I'm going to fit that now and see what's the difference. Okay, so now we have two washers fitted. The smaller one is underneath the factory black one. You can't really see any difference, but what you can see is that this can now move. You can see just a little bit of movement there that wasn't there before. And I've been riding the bike like this, and I can tell you that those really irritating vibrations at maybe 4,000, maybe 6,000 revs, I'm still in the braking miles. They don't disappear when you do this, but they get a lot better. So if you have a KLE 500, if you feel like the foot pegs vibrate to an unacceptable amount, get yourself an M8 washer, just a regular M8 normal washer. If you're in North America, get a 5/16 washer, same thing, and put it in there like I've just done, underneath of the factory washer. It makes sense to keep the factory washer. It's a safety catch against the edge of the isolator if anything goes wrong, but you're going to feel a big difference from this. It's going to reduce the vibrations in your feet and through the whole bike, the whole system, make it much more fun to ride. All right.